What's up? Welcome back, everybody. My name is Taylor Martin. This is the best Damn EDC, and this time is the first ever live EDC Weekly. What's up? How is everybody doing? You're just gonna have to bear with me because this is the first time I've ever really done a scheduled, a scheduled show with an agenda and a timeline, a rough timeline, because we all know I can't actually keep a timeline. You got nothing. I'm sure you got something there. I'm probably on a delay right now. I'm here. Hey, what's up? What is up? I actually don't need these anymore, so let's kill the monitor. Hello. Can get a little casual. Sit back, relax, enjoy yourselves. This is going to be roughly an hour. I don't mind if we go over just a little bit, but crack open a little drink, a beverage, if you will, and enjoy. Welcome. Hey, Dustin. I'm not 3 hours late. I just clicked the wrong button earlier. So I just have to say that I accidentally made a scheduled live stream for 3 p.m. I believe it was. That was not my mistake, or not my doing. YouTube just picked 3 o'clock for whatever reason. So that was my mistake. I won't do that again because I know that copying a previous live stream will just go ahead and create the thing. So next time I'll I'll know better. YouTube changes about every 3 or 4 months, so you got to keep up with what they're doing. Welcome. I'm just going to let everybody load in here real quick. I do want to say that there are going to be some ads throughout this. We do have some sponsors, which has made this possible. But I think this is going to be a much better version of the EDC Weekly because it's interactive. I can sit here and see what you guys are saying, and you can give me live commentary on the featured submissions, which is really, really great. I've already gone through and actually dropped links to everything that's going to be in this video down below. So if you see anything you do like, it's already linked down there. So actually, except for the tactile turn stuff, I will get a link for that later. That's my bad. And Big Idea Design. Remember to slow the chat. Yeah, I may have to. If it gets anything like last time, I definitely will. But I'm not reading questions right now. I'm not doing a Q&A. But let's get this first one out of the way, and then I'll be right back in about 45 seconds. This video is brought to you by Big Idea Design. They make titanium pocket tools and pins like the bit bar, which is a screwdriver with a pocket clip and bit storage in the handle, and the TPT and TPT slide, which hold a standard utility knife blade. They also released a TI EDC wrench and a miniature screwdriver called the EDS, and their pins are some of my favorites. They all take dozens to hundreds of different refills, and they are awesome. To learn more about what Big Idea Design has to offer, click the link in the description down below and use coupon code CARRYON for 10% off your purchase to help support the show. You guys thought you were not going to have to deal with that, didn't you? Too bad. That was quick. That was short. Those guys are great. Those guys are the reason this channel exists, really. They've really helped me out a ton. Chadwick and Joe are great guys. I love their stuff, and I love their company, and they've been great to me, so enjoy that. And they have this. So I mentioned this quickly in that ad. This is their newest product, which is the EDS, or Everyday Screwdriver. It's a little pocket screwdriver with a pocket clip, and it has 2 bits that you can store on the back. So you have a bit that stores there, and then you have 2 on the back, which is really nice. And it's a titanium frame lock, which is the most overkill pocket screwdriver thing ever. It's really awesome. But I guess we should go ahead and get into it, because if I don't, I'm going to be rambling for eternity. So the very first submission this week comes from Casey Boatman, who was actually very, very active in the Discord. I actually bought some stuff from him recently. What did I buy? No, I did not buy my... I was going to say that I bought the Ace Biblio from him, but I did not. So this is the Ace Biblio. But no, Casey has been featured several times. He's a very, very active member of the Discord community, and he's always rotating in some stuff that, no matter what, it always makes me jealous. So Anyway, first up, as always, he has his Lynch Northwest All Access Pass. This is a stonewashed with fade anodized recessed logo. And then that's on top of his Dassault Topsider Nimitz style custom wallet. He also has a titanium tactile turn bolt action short, an EDC cooperative version 2 coin, a Rovivon Aurora A4, that's the titanium version, the knife in the far right of the photo. I'm going to do this, so you guys are actually going to get to see how bad it is when I try to read through these things, and how many times I have to correct myself, and why the editing is so bad, or takes so long, I should say. But his knife of choice in the far right of the photo is the Spyderco Capara. That is a QCI version, or CQI version, which is just, I can't remember exactly what CQI stands for. I know it means quality improvement, but constant, something like that. I don't know. And then finally, underneath everything is a Mighty Hanks Norse Rune Hank, which their Hanks are called Mighty Mini, I think is what it's called. But yeah, this is a really, really great carry. In fact, I know because people are going to ask what wallet I'm carrying. I love Dassault products. That's never going to change. His stuff is really, really good, and I'm glad that I can tell you guys about stuff like this. But Casey has very clearly followed some of the advice that I've given with Dassault the Lynch Northwest, Rovivon, Tactile Turn, and Mighty Hanks. I think he might have turned me on to, but that's his carry. I really like it a lot. These little Mighty Hanks. In fact, I've got one in my pocket now. What is a hank? A handkerchief is this. Just a little piece of cloth on the backside. What makes these so great is that the backside is microfiber. That's really great for me for wiping lenses and sunglasses. I think these aren't really snot rags. But I'll go back through and see what he says, because his was kind of integrated. Typically, I have like a bulleted list, and then underneath it, there's a longer description of everything. But he says for the Lynch Northwest, I love anything Casey from Lynch Northwest makes. His clips go on every knife I have that he makes them for, and I have 3 of the All Access passes. That's insane. I have 2, but 3 is a bit much. Those things are about $80, $85 a piece now, and they're damn cool. I put a Zero Feud torched steel nuke bead on there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that he has a little nuke bead from Rip's Garage Tech and Zero Feud, my buddy Rick. I have these on carry commission, so that's actually not linked below. But if you want, I will put a link below later for the little nuke bead. Dassault he says, I love this wallet, and it's my second one from Michael, is his name. Plenty of storage and great feel to the leather. I also had him put a stitch on the pocket in the back to be able to include 2 tools. Oh, nice. So instead of it just having a single card pocket, I guess you turned it into like probably what you put your pry tool in. Tactile turn short. He says, I love the fidgetability of this pen and that it lets me use a space pen refill without modification. I tend to write on walls or not on flat surfaces, so it's nice to have a pressurized refill. Another thing to fidget with in my pocket is the EDC cooperative coin. He said it doesn't make any noise. The Rovivon Aurora, he said, I've never had a flashlight that was this pocketable. It disappears in my pocket while being easy to find. It's rechargeable, and its UI is super easy and intuitive. I've actually not used a Rovivon flashlight in a long time. I probably should break out my old Rovivon. I talked about them so much, and then I just stopped carrying it after getting bombarded with O-lights and trying out Prometheus and having so many different options. I need to go back to the Rovivon to see if it holds up. But he also says, this has got to be one of the best knives in this price range, speaking of the Capara. Great quality carbon fiber scales, reasonable quality steel in S30V, and my favorite lock design is the compression lock, with the continued comment on its great fidgetability. The changes made in the CQI adds a bushing which lets it drop shut super easily. Love this knife. And then finally, Mighty Hanks. I do not use this hank to blow my nose, but to clean off my phone lens and screen and my sunglasses, and if needed, a small spill my kids make. Just bought that BAM this morning. What BAM? B-A-M. What are you talking about? The A24. I've not tried the A24, so the A24 is actually closer in size to the Olight S1R Baton 2. So it's still a pretty beefy flashlight compared to the Rovivon Aurora. But I've not tried any of the newer Olights. The only one I had was their right angle, like rectangular flashlight. I don't remember the model number on that one. It was pretty cool. I liked that it had a smooth ramp instead of having stepped ramps for brightnesses. It had a smooth ramp, which was really nice, but it was a bit of a weird flashlight because it had 2 buttons and it was hard to distinguish which one did what. So, oh, bolt action mini. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I know. So here's a bolt action mini from Tactile Turn. I actually really like this size. Just for your comparison, we'll get to these later. But the differences in sizes, if I can show these off, it's going to be hard to show these off separately or together, I should say. That'll probably be the best way. Line them up. That's your differences in lengths on your bolt action. So this is the original length, this is the bolt action short, and this is the bolt action mini. So it's 4.4 inches, and it's really the perfect size, honestly. This thing's great. Aaron, you are not correct with your assumption. But yeah, thank you, Casey, as always, and thanks for being such a great member of the community and always submitting your EDCs. If I go to make one of these shows and I'm short on submissions, I can count on Casey. He's always got one in the queue. So thank you for this. And of course, I'm still working on a giveaway. I've been saying that for months now. I think like 4 months now. But I am going to piece together some sort of giveaway. And I want to make it worth your time. I want it to be like a full EDC kit, but I don't want it to be the same as before. And I don't know that I can keep up with doing them monthly, because monthly giveaways was very difficult to orchestrate because I had a bunch of different companies sending me stuff. And, this company would send me like 3 pieces. This other company would send me 5. Another company would send me 12. And I would run out of inventory, and then I'd have to reach out to them and be like, hey, I need more of this. And then they'd send it, and another company wouldn't. So I was getting really behind on shipping out giveaway stuff. And it was getting to be a little much. So that's why I stopped doing the monthly giveaways. If it's 1 piece that I give away every single month, that's probably easy. But if it's doing a whole EDC kit, doing it monthly is pretty tough. So maybe I'll do... I don't know. I'm going to have to mix it up. But since it's been so long, I can probably piece together one big giveaway. And then from there, we'll try to figure out what we're going to do afterwards. But you guys have any questions about this carry, or any suggestions for Casey, or anything? Ask me a few questions and then we'll move on. I don't know much about the Benchmade turret. And what do you guys think about the Kapara? I go back and forth. I'm not a huge fan of carbon fiber, so if they made it in micarta, I'd probably go nuts over it, to be honest. But the Kapara, I love the blade shape, but I don't do carbon fiber that much. I'm not a fan. I'm doing great, Steven. That is not a relevant question. Ooh, you're going to be happy in a second, Joshua. Just throwing that out there. All right, yeah, no questions. We are moving on. The second submission this week actually comes from Moon's EDC, who is Joshua, who just joined the chat. So welcome, Joshua, and you can maybe give us some feedback on your own carry, or tell me I'm an idiot when I go to pronounce one of these words, because I actually don't know how to pronounce one of these words. All right, so first up in this photo, the far left thing is his flashlight. That's the Okluma, which was, I actually didn't know how to pronounce that. And after the first time I did a video including an Okluma, the creator or the owner of that company reached out and told me how to pronounce it. It's Okluma, like Oklahoma, but Okluma. Anyway, Okluma DC1. Then next to that is his knife of choice. That's the Arcform Slim Foot. And then next to that is the slip joint. That's the Northwoods. This is the word, Okoi. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okoi Jack. Okoi. I'm not sure. And then next to that, in the top right of the photo, is the Rat Bastard Enigma probe. A pocket probe, I think, is the actual technical term. But that's a pry bar with tweezers on the other end. I actually purchased one of these today because I found out they were still in stock somewhere, but they've been out of stock for a very, very long time. I've been trying to get one of those Rat Bastards for, I'd say, about 8 or 9 months. So I finally got one today. They are still in stock, at least at the time I started this, they were in stock. The link is down below. That is not an affiliate link. And then finally underneath everything is the MCMD Hankery handkerchief. And I don't think he says anything else about it other than it's microfiber on the back side. And that's something I'm a big fan of, is the trend towards microfiber on the back of the handkerchiefs. Where is Arcform made? I'm not exactly sure. You'd actually have to ask Joshua. I didn't look into Arcform. I've not really ever looked much into Arcform. But it's a cool blade. I'd be interested to see what the show side looks like. It's a nice picture, but the show side of the knife is the side that most people want to see, not the lock bar side, right? The probe looks like a dangerous thing to have in pocket. That's true, but it is just tweezers. And the thing is, the tweezers that I have on, I don't know if I do. The tweezers that I have are on this. I'd love to get them out of the key bar, because these tweezers on the key bar are, they sort of work, but not great. So I think having a big set of tweezers would be great. Anyway, Joshua did kind of the same thing that Casey did, and just integrated his comments on this stuff inside his list. So for those of you submitting, don't do that. Do a bulleted list, and then there's another field for explaining everything, and then there's another field for asking questions. So don't do what these guys did, but here we are. Also, one thing I noticed after I set all of this up and chose the submissions is several of these don't even have wallets in the photos, which I think is cheating. It's definitely cheating. Anyway, for the Okluma, he says, it's a triple LED titanium, beautiful milling and finish, and the best warranty out there. Make this my go-to flashlight. It's also an expensive flashlight, just to throw that out there. Arcform Slimfoot, a wonderful TI frame lock design sporting S35V in steel, and a strong detent, giving this knife a satisfying action. I highly recommend trying one out. The only thing about the Arcform for me was, when I looked it up, it's $350, and much like a Sabinza, it's kind of tough to stomach S35VN and a titanium frame lock today for $350. So I would like to, but $350 for S35VN and titanium frame lock when there's so many other ones out there is kind of tough. It's okay, Josh. Don't feel too bad. You're not the only one. Everybody does it. Nobody follows the rules when they submit. And for Brett, you can submit by going to edcw.co or hitting the link down below. It's bestmedc/submit as well. Both of those work. Carry Commission also has this. Yeah, if you go to carrycommission.com or carry.best, I have like 800 ways for you to get to the same Google form. Just throwing that out there. Northwood's Okoe Jack. I think that's how it's pronounced. Okoe. Please tell me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This is a really nice live feedback for that. Anyway, he says, this slip joint has giraffe bone covers and a lighter spring pull than most slip joints I own. I mainly use this for food prep I may have, as not many people seem to mind when I'm in the office. So that's something I never really have to deal with, is being in an office and having knives out. I've never really had anybody taken aback when I pull out a knife, except for when you pull out something like a J-cape or something, and it just flies out, and it seems to be a pretty big, scary blade. But most people don't really care when I pull out a knife in public. Yeah, Medford does sell D2 for $700, but they also now have S35VN and different materials and cheaper knives. They've come down in some prices for their production folders. So I'm just saying that $350 for S35VN is on the upper end. Okoe, whatever it's pronounced. Anyway, Rat Bastard Enigma. I always have a pry bar on me, but the fact that this one doubles as a pair of tweezers is great for assembling knives with small pieces where my fingers may not fit. And the handkerchief, it's from MD Hankery on Instagram. The reverse side is microfiber, which comes in handy to clean my phone screen or glasses. And he says, for anyone that may be new to EDC and haven't already joined the BDEDC Discord. It's a good group of guys and girls with a lot of common interests and a great place to learn a thing or two as well. I'm always looking for new gear to try out. I am also interested in picking out a nice watch. Another money pit. Yeah, watches are a money pit. I got this one this week. So the last time I did a stream, I actually didn't have this. But now I have my Hamilton, which is really, really nice. I bought this in the Discord in the classified section, and I am very happy with this watch. It's the watch I should have bought a long time ago, but I didn't. So, since you're here, Joshua, what if you want to add anything to your submission other than apologizing for not following the rules, feel free. I hate that there's such a delay on here, though. It's a pretty significant delay for me. I think it's close to like 30 seconds, which is not great. The Hamilton came fast. No, I bought it last week and it was sent to the wrong address and I had to drive and pick it up yesterday. My dad didn't hide it. No, he tried to. It was sent to my dad and I went to go pick it up. Have I found my Spry Bar? Not yet. Not yet. I feel like it's somewhere. It's somewhere, but I've got it somewhere. I haven't like lost it. It was at home the last time I had it. Yeah, Hamiltons are not cheap. I basically traded a bunch of gear for this one. 30-second delay isn't so bad. It is pretty bad when I'm trying to get live feedback. It does make it a little difficult to get feedback when it's that long. I would recommend looking for a Hamilton on a secondary website. There's a website called Watch Recon. If you go to Watch Recon, you can search Hamilton, and they've got some really good prices. It basically scrapes for all used Hamiltons in a bunch of different watch forums and stuff. That's a great place to buy a used watch. If you're okay buying a used watch from someone else on the internet that you aren't sure that you can trust. Josh says he wants to add that most of the stuff I buy is because everyone is an enabler on your Discord. You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong. I have bought way too much in the Discord. Don't tell Alex. Actually, Alex is here. She's moderating currently. So, oops. Love you. The Discord is a public chat room. It's free to join and hang out, but just beware that it is a dangerous, slippery slope. I'll link it right here in the chat right now. That is the current join link for the Discord. People were saying that the one in the description of all my videos was actually invalid, and it stopped working. So I'm not going to go back and manually change the Discord link on like 200 videos, but there are plenty. If you Google Best Damn EDC Discord, you'll get an active link for it. A good cleaver without breaking the bank. I would say the Kaiser Sheepdog Mini is a good place to start. I wouldn't recommend the Gerber flat iron. I would not recommend that one. Definitely wouldn't. It's cool to look at, but it's not as good of a knife. Oh, you dropped 400 since you joined a few months ago? Yeah, that's chump change in the Discord. It's such a dangerous place. The chaos in the Discord is not caused by me, okay? I am the peacekeeper. I'm the peacekeeper. Yes, Chris, you should join the Discord. And change your username to poker. All right, I will field just a couple of questions before we get to our midpoint, and then I do spend so much money, yes. Before we get to the midpoint and continue with the rest of the submissions. One of the questions from Kareem Taha says, what happened to the RV and is the car vlog coming back? Well, the other channel, Modern Outdoor Dweller, will be coming back. The RV, I need to sell it, to be completely honest. It just kind of, that didn't work out. Alex and I have a child now, and we were going to travel full time. Now we're not. So I'm going to get rid of that, but I do plan on traveling some for this channel, but documenting the travels on that channel. So it's going to be kind of like a behind-the-scenes channel for Best Damn EDC. Saw another good question up in here. Where was it? Oh, somebody mentioned that they upgraded the Gerber flat iron. They changed the lock bar stabilizer on it and a few other things, but it's still got, I think they might have upgraded the steel from 8CR 13 or 4. They upgraded the steel a little bit, I believe, but it's still not a great steel for the price they're asking. The point is, Gerber makes so many knives. They should, especially when they're outsourced like Chinese knives, they should be able to compete with Kaiser and Civivi and all of these other knife makers, but they just don't. They tend to keep using lower end steels and keeping those profit margins high rather than, you know, creating a really good value. The RV will be sold on Discord soon. Seriously, if anybody wants a 1965 Avion Legrand in okay condition, just let me know. It's not in bad condition, but it's going to need new floors, and that's an undertaking for sure. The Half Dome and the Suru, both very, very good knives. In fact, I think I've got a Half Dome right here. I'm sure I do. I shouldn't spend the time looking for it. It doesn't matter. Moving on. Moving on. All right, so one more quick break, and then we'll get back to submissions. This video is brought to you by Tactile Turn. They make fully machined pins right here in the US out of quality materials like bronze, copper, titanium, and zirconium. Tactile Turn also has click pins like the movers and shakers, as well as a bolt action knife. But earlier this year, they launched a redesigned bolt action pin with shorter, snappier action, a refined tip, and a new and improved shape. It also now comes in an even shorter 4.4-inch version, the Bolt Action Mini. To see more about what Tactile Turn has to offer, hit the link in the description down below, and if you purchase anything using those links, it will help support the show. All right, guys, the third submission this week comes from Just Mitch. That's all we got to go on. Just Mitch, no username, no handles. That's all we got, but it was a pretty sick photo. I really like the photo, and for all of you out there that say I do not feature submissions with guns, you're wrong, because I do. It's just the vast, vast, vast majority of the submissions that come to me don't have guns. And I think there are a couple of reasons for that. One, I'm reaching outside of the typical EDC world, beyond the concealed carry roots where EDC as a thing started, and trying to get more into what everybody carries. So I try to include different stuff as well. That's why I like doing these in-person pocket dumps with people like Ryan Kirby from Fit for a King. He is not into EDC at all, but he did that EDC pocket dump for me in person, not even really knowing what it was. So it's really nice to bring people into the EDC world and show them what it is and why it exists, because I was talking to Chadwick from Big Idea Design earlier this week about how it wasn't until, well, let me get this for an example really quickly. It wasn't until I discovered things like this that I started viewing EDC differently. And a lot of people see these as, you know, chintzy or useless or overpriced, expensive tools that you're never really going to need. But I don't really think that's true. Brandon Miniman, thank you very much for the $10. I love you, man. Well, I can't say Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah. There we go. There we go. What's up, Brandon? Brandon is a longtime friend of mine. Brando. But it wasn't until I discovered stuff like this that I started viewing EDC differently. And I think if I were to approach someone like, let's say, Ryan Kirby, if I had a do-over with that pocket dump, if I handed him one of these at the very end of this and said, hey, try one of these out and see if it changes the way you go about things, you know, just something that kind of pushes them in that direction. And that's what this whole thing is meant for. Whoa, welcome, or not welcome, thank you guys. Welcome. Fletcher and Steven, thank you for the $2.99 and $2. But let's get into this actual carry, and then we'll get more into discussions after. Mitch, in the bottom right, in the bottom left of the photo, see what I'm saying? Every single time, bottom right, bottom left, I always get it wrong. Bottom left of the photo is the 6-hour P250 subcompact that is chambered in 9mm, and he also has a spare magazine for that. At the top left of the photo is the copper and heat-treated steel fidget spinner, no name brand that he's had to mention. The watch in the center of the photo is the Ventus North Star N-7 brass diver. It's 300mm water resistance. The wallet in the top right is the Hitch and Timber Trucker's Hitch wallet in green. Inside that, he carries a Fisher Space Pen bullet in brass and a small moleskin. Wow, why is that so hard to say tonight? Small moleskin notebook with a paracord bookmark. At the bottom of the photo is a Buck 110 with a leather slip And then finally, the bottom right of the photo is the Olight S2R Baton 2 in copper. Whew. Struggling here. See, this is this is why I don't normally do this live. I have to get better at reading. I'm so bad at reading. Almost 30 years old and I still can't read. This one obviously jumped out at me because, well, the watch is kind of like eye-catching. I'm not familiar with Ventus. I know they did a Kickstarter. That's really about all I know. But it's just an eye-catching watch. I need to get back to Brandon's question. What did he say real quick? I need a new wallet. Minimalist holds cards and a little more. Look at the Travax Armored Summit, Brandon. Consider the Armored Summit from Travax. Or my favorite wallet. Seriously, I keep going back to this. I recommend it all the time. This is the Das Ephemer Gun Deck wallet. You open it up, and inside it's got two little pockets. He's got a bunch of different versions that aren't just the gun deck. He's got the topsider, a bunch of different ones, and these things are absolutely great. So honestly, my best recommendation to you is this, Brandon. I know you've tried stuff like Ridge and other things. The Travax is going to be similar to that. This is my top pick for sure. ELJPS, thank you for the $20. Whoa, thank you. Thank you all. That's awesome. Mitch says, everything in my EDC has its purpose. I used to be a compulsive nail biter. The fidget spinner has cured that. The P250 SC, or subcompact, has been my main carry gun for years. I grew up shooting revolvers, so the double action only trigger is perfect for me. The Ventus North Star has a solid build and looks amazing. I'm just waiting for the patina to slowly develop on the case. I used to carry a Hitch and Timber Does-All, but I was limited to the size of knives and flashlights I could keep in the front slots, so during the colder months I switch out to the Trucker's Hitch since I like to use larger knives and flashlights due to wearing gloves. The leather slip for the Buck 10 gives a better grip when digging for the knife out of my pocket since the knife scales have no texturing to them. The Olight is self-explanatory, solid build, construction, magnetic base, multiple brightness settings, battery level indicator, etc. As with the North Star, I'm patiently waiting for the patina to develop on the copper. As with the North Star, I'm patiently waiting for the patina to develop on the copper Olight. Overall, in my opinion, you cannot go wrong with a green, brown, and brass/copper themed setup. It does look very manly, I have to say. Green mixed with that brown leather and copper/bronze or brass is always it's very classy. I like it. I'm digging it. Yeah, Alex is right. You guys do rock. I carry the Trucker's Hitch from time to time. The only thing for me is that I never end up writing in the notebook when I have it in my wallet like that. I need I don't care for those really small moleskin notebooks. But I really love the way that the Trucker's Hitch is. I like that wallet a ton, but maybe now that I have a new pen, I don't really care to carry the Fisher Space pen all the time. But now that I have this, I could go back to the Trucker's Hitch and give it a go again. This is the Kaweco Lilliput in brass. So a little fountain pen. Thing's really nice. It's not going to focus. Really nice little pen. It would be cool to see an antique, tricked out pocket watch setup. I don't know of anybody that actually carries a pocket watch. Not personally. But yeah, this is a very classy photo. And I'm sure all of these people would love to follow Mitch if he had a Instagram handle, but he did not share it. So maybe he just wants some privacy. I don't know. But one thing I did think of when I chose this photo is that I've actually never owned a Buck 110. I have the Buck 110 Slim Pro, but I don't have like that old grandfather classic Buck 110. So I think in the new year I will get one just because I feel like I need a Buck 110 in my life just to round out the collection. It's one of those classics that you have to have. Whoa. Hello, Michael. I don't know what currency that is. Michael Norman Borgerson. I don't know what is NOK. $50, $55 or 55 NOKs. I don't know what that currency is. Thank you guys for the donations. You're very, very kind. We have 2 submissions left. Do you guys have any last questions about this one or any discussions? My pocket watch is called an iPhone. Yeah, that's, I mean, true. I tend to just stick to the old wristwatch. It's very convenient. Nothing writes as nice as a fountain pen. So that's definitely true, but these fountain pens definitely come with some caveats, like maintenance and needing to. Taylor's only $7 US. Still, it's $7 US is a very kind and generous donation. Don't downplay his NOKs, all right? Norwegian crown, maybe. Kroner, Norwegian kroner. But yeah, these fountain pens definitely come with caveats. They're, I think, fun to get to learn and whatnot, but you've got to replace the cartridges, and when you go to clean it, it makes a mess. I did get a Pete's Pirate Life Challenge coin, for sure. I wanted to support Peter. He did me a massive, massive favor this past week, and I just wanted to pay it forward to him, so I purchased a Pete's Pirate Life coin against my better judgment. You have a pocket watch, Elgin, 1920s. Elgin, I don't know how to pronounce that either. I've seen a few of those. They have a canteen watch. It was like a Navy dive watch that was really, really cool. A friend of mine had one. Okay, moving on from Mitch's carry. Thank you for submitting, Mitch. You have an entry into, or second entry into whatever the giveaway is. The next submission comes from Fatboy EDC on Instagram or Kyle Kremer, Kremer, for putting the dono. Thank you for the $5, Steven. This carry, again, this is one of those that I noticed didn't have a wallet, and technically I think that's cheating, right? You got to have a wallet, and you have to include it in the picture. But as so many of these submissions don't have, there is no wallet in this one. From John, he says his latest podcast mentioned Sean and his business. Sean, he goes by Holiday, okay? I haven't listened to it yet, though. I haven't either. Maybe I should, but especially now that I'm going to be, sort of in business with those guys. All right, Princess Tyler says, hey, I was wondering if there's an age requirement to submit. I saw there was a 5-year-old featured a while ago, but the form says 18 plus. So I have the 18 plus in there for the giveaway stuff because there's technically a blade. I don't think I actually ship a blade with the giveaway, but the giveaway is 18 plus, but to submit, you can be whatever age. I don't care. So just submit if you want. Age doesn't matter for submission. It just affects your ability to win if you are selected. No wallet is cheating. I agree. And it was something I didn't realize until I put hours today setting all of this up. So, yeah. Couldn't go back on that, but I will be more vigilant about choosing submissions with wallets in the future. Steven, thank you for the $2 again. You just like hearing me say your name, don't you? Would you rather me make fun of your tiny hands? Is it the Ray? Is a Ray in the chat? Or are you guys just talking about Ray? I just got my small subins with Dama Steel raindrop pattern. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, let's go through these. In the top left of this photo is the flashlight in question. That is the Okluma DC-1 yet again. Next to that is his knife of choice. That's the Strider S&G Monkey Edge frag pattern. And then next to that is his slip joint, the Great Eastern Cutlery number 86 Oilfield Jack. In the bottom of the photo, in the left side, is the Karas Custom Mini Render K. Inside that is a Schmidt EasyFlow 9000 refill. Next to that is, yet again, the Lynch Northwest All Access Pass 1.5. And then underneath everything is the Hanks by Hank 7Cs handkerchief. And that's something that I've been noticing a lot too, is the All Access Pass has been more and more common. Like, so many people wanted them, and then he did these massive drops, and so many people have them now. But it just seems like every day I'm in my Discord, and people in the classifieds are looking for an All Access Pass. But glad to see he's doing so well. Casey is a really great guy. I think the All Access Pass is a fantastic tool. I love it. I carry it a lot. I'm just happy that more people are able to get them. But Kyle says, I have been trying to perfect my EDC for the last 2 years, and this is what I've put together. The Strider is my go-to knife because it is built like a tank and uses 3V steel, which can take a beating while retaining a very good edge. The traditional knife is for when I'm in a public place or busy area that would be less than ideal to pull the Strider out, with it being a larger knife. The pin is my most used piece of gear, as I'm always in need of a pin for work, and the Karas Custom is perfectly sized for my needs. The flashlight and pry tool don't get used as much as everything else, but are nice to have when needed. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Steven, yet again for the $2. He says, no, show us that left arm. I'm not. And then Cameron Self, thank you for the $5 donation. This oil field jack is actually one of the Great Eastern Cutleries that I was looking at buying. It's a titty ute, and they're still in stock in some places, I believe. They were for a while, actually. But I don't know, something about the wrench badge or shield, whatever you want to call that, on the scales. Just, I don't know, something about the wrench just threw me off a little bit. I love this pattern, but I don't care for the wrench. So I've seen other versions of the number 86, obviously, without a wrench on it, which is nice. But the oil field jack is a really cool blade. There are actually two blades. There's a main drop point or clip point blade, and the other, I think, is a sheep's foot. Twitch Radio, thank you for the $1 donation. Yes, this is my first live EDC Weekly, and I hope I'm doing okay. I know I'm a little rusty for live shows, but it feels like it's going pretty well. Yeah, I really would like to do more of these live. I think if it goes well and you guys seem to like it, I'm going to do every single one of them live. Wow, there are almost 300 people watching right now, too. That's really awesome. Thank you guys so much. He could be using his pry bar as a money clip. That is very true. That is true, but I don't think he is. What do you guys think? So that's actually a good point that we can discuss for a second. I'm going to take this down. We'll just talk for a second. What do you guys think? When I come across something like that, there are a ton of submissions that don't actually have, a very important piece of gear. Like, I don't think any of these have keys in them, right? Look at the first one. No keys. No keys. No keys. No keys. I won't go to the last one yet, but I can't just disqualify things for not having certain pieces of their gear in there. I don't always include pictures of keys in mine. I didn't today. In the thumbnail for this video, there's no keys, but that's my EDC photo for today, So what do you think? Do I not include submissions that don't have a wallet or keys or something like that? Steven, thank you for the $2 yet again. You've almost paid for the Northwoods Little Bay. We might as well just finish the donation now. Don't do it here. I'm just kidding, because YouTube takes a huge cut of donations. I don't know what YouTube's cut of donations is, but they do take some. Glad to hear it. I really think this is a better format for the show, and I'll get better in time, I think. Just with the flow of things, sticking to schedule, interacting with you guys. I had to do one to see how it would go, just to see what it was like, and I really enjoy doing it this way. The other thing was the editing on this show was brutal. It was always brutal, and being able to cut out the editing, interact with you guys, and just do a lot of pre-planning and spending more time making it right feels so much better, and it just feels... Steven, Chris, thank you for the $2. Poker is never going to be a mod, I'm sorry. And Steven, thank you again for the $2. You said $2 was the last one. You said the last one was the last one, but then you donated again. And Lyman 505, thank you for the $4.99. Call me India Papa 24. Okay? If you want. I'll call you whatever for $5. Maybe not anything. There are some things I won't call you. Aaron Peabody, thank you for the $10. You guys are so generous. Thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you guys. There is a bit of audio delay, I must say. Sorry about that. I think it's a YouTube thing. The Tale of Knives AirPod. I know you said iPod, but I know you're talking about the AirPod key belt holder thing. I've not used it, but that thing is awesome because I hate carrying this thing. I absolutely hate carrying this thing. It doesn't fit well in my pocket. It's thick. I just kind of hate it. So I'm gonna reach out to Jeremy and see if we can include that one in the Tale of Knives video I have coming up. Danny, thank you for the $9.99. Now I owe you a beer if we ever run into each other. Danny, you're actually local, aren't you? Laverne Clark, thank you for the $5. Man. You guys are awesome. Yeah, Danny said, don't tell my wife. Yeah, YouTube does take 30% of the donations, which is kind of bogus, but it is what it is. I'm using their platform, so. Christian Torres, I am making everybody an EDC junkie. That's the goal. I want everybody to be an EDC junkie because everybody starts out as an EDC junkie whether they know it or not. I do not know if the SAC Compact has been canceled. If anything, it's probably the fact that Zach from Blade HQ has talked about it so much, they're just sold out everywhere. That's my guess. He has talked them up for a long time. You were in Concord a few days ago. I thought you were local. You're not as active in the Discord anymore. Alex said, you guys are funding Taylor's Christmas present to me. Thanks. He wasn't going to get me anything, but now he can. Wow. Way to put me on the spot, Alex. I don't get these donations for 2 months now. I'm kidding. I think it's like a month. I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works. I'm just here. I'm here for the beer and the live chat. If she's getting what she wants, she's going to get 2 nightstands, a rug for the living room, a TV stand, cord covers, and a trip to Disneyland or Hawaii. Brent Beck, thank you for the $9.99. Brent says, love your channel, man. Hope this helps you keep it up and continue making more content. Thank you, guys. Seriously, these donations, you guys are too much. You guys are too much. Thank you. Real talk, did Grimsmo Bros give you a knife? They did not give me a knife, no. They don't really do that, which I understand. Okay, let's get to this last submission. We were rolling up on an hour. I was trying to keep it to an hour. Rubicon 81 for Alex's Christmas gift. Thank you for the $2. Man. Well, all these donos are going straight to Alex. When am I going to do the meet and greet? That's a really good question. I was planning on doing it this fall in Tennessee at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and I'll be honest, my year has been crazy. It's been absolutely insane, and it's a miracle that I've kept my head above water. It's been, running a YouTube channel this one in particular has been very, very time consuming and exhausting, and having a newborn is the same. But it's been the best year. It's been the absolute best year of my life, and I have you guys to thank for that. So seriously, thank you. Steven, thank you for the $2 yet again. All right, so let's move on to the very last submission, which this week comes from Patrick Wiedner. You can find them on Instagram at Celtic Micha, I guess. And I'm not sure if it's Wiedner or Wiedner. It's Wiedner, maybe? It's Wiedner, unless that's a typo. But that's how he spelled it. So, not sure. Anyway, we'll go through the gear here. In the top of the photo is the Strider SMF Hybrid GG with a Timascus lock bar stabilizer. And then underneath that is another knife. That's the Koenig Knives Mini Goblin. The flashlight of choice here is the Olay S2R Baton 2 in copper. Second time we've seen that one tonight. And then also next to all of that is a little pry bar that is a Jimping_72 or Jimmy pry bar. That guy's Instagram handle is Jimping_72, the maker of that. In the bottom of the photo is the Apple iPhone 8. It's actually not in the case, but that is an Apple leather case there. That's the phone used to take the photo, I imagine. And then next to that, or in the far right of the photo, is the Apple Watch 42mm. And on that, he has a Bandwork Stockholm Vintage tan strap. The wallet of choice here is a Dango M1 Maverick bifold wallet. And then in the top left again is the Custom Knife Factory handkerchief. So, really cool little brown and blue carry here. A little brass sprinkled in. Just noticing now that he doesn't mention that little challenge coin at all. So, I don't know what the challenge coin is. It's not listed at all. So, and I can't zoom in on it. It could just be some standard challenge coin. But Anyway, Patrick says, I usually carry 2 knives, one full size and one in the EDC pocket, which I rotate every day. The rabbit pulled me too deep into the hole. Wait, hold on. The rabbit pulled me too deep in its hole, so I have a substantial collection, and I don't have a steady carry anymore. Can relate. I can definitely relate to that. I also carry a flashlight everywhere and switch it out daily. Can't wait to patina my new S2R. My knives, pry bar, and flashlight come in handy when I have to inspect, adapt, and fit plastic prototype parts and 3D printed parts at my work as a component designer in the automotive industry. I like my iPhone 8 Plus a lot because it has a no notch, and also the old school home button. I don't miss the home button at all. Not at all. I do want a bigger iPhone, though. Maybe you guys are helping fund our phones. Is that what you want, Alex, for Christmas? Do you want a phone? I know your phone broke. I just had to pay off your phone today. I didn't tell you that, but I just got the bill from T-Mobile. Next month, I have to pay off your phone. That was not cheap. Hey, Dustin, thanks for hanging out, and thank you for the present. I don't know what it is, but I think it's coming tomorrow. I think it's out for delivery tomorrow. So thank you, Dustin. You're the real MVP. Let's see where I am. The Apple Watch is useful in tracking time combined with the vibration alarm. Also, the reminder after 50 minutes to stand up and move a little bit around is nice because when I work focused, I lose track of time. Here, I sat down at this desk this morning and did not move for like 6 hours. It was such a crazy day. The Dangle wallet with the metal insert prevents my cards from bending and also has RFID blocking. EDC Ease Nuts says, Taylor, you are crazy if you don't miss the home button. I don't miss it. Not at all. Wow, this is a really great carry, and that's a spendy carry. With the Koenig knives alone is spendy. So that mixed with a Strider with a Timescus lock bar stabilizer. It's all pretty spendy stuff. That's the trend with EDC these days, isn't it? Everything's getting more and more expensive. But thank you for submitting, Patrick. You now have a second entry into the giveaway, and everybody who was featured in this video has a second entry into the giveaway. And if you want to submit yourself, just go to edcw.co or bestmedc.com/submit, and you're entered to win. You don't have to be featured to win or even get an entry. Just submitting is all you have to do. The 11 Max Pro is what I want, but for Alex and I to both get them, I think it's like $700 if we trade our phones in and if we finance them, which makes our bill go up. So that's a lot of money just for some new phones. Z Drummer 95, thank you for the $24.99. He says, "Hey man, love the channel. Hope this helps. Keep up the great EDC content and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year too." Well, same to you, man. Thank you very, very much. Yeah, the Koenig Mini Goblin is at least $450 used. Yeah, they're not cheap knives, not at all. But you guys are complaining to me about making you guys spend too much. Really? We got a J-Cape V3. That was almost $300. We got a Sheepdog. We got a few knives here. Ace Biblio. We have a ProTech SBR. Down here in my bag, I've got a custom bug out and a custom Sabinza. There's a lot of expensive gear. You guys are not easy on me, especially in the Discord. Steven, stop promoting your cause. He tends to do that a lot. Yeah, you can't trade in, yours is broken. I know. Tiny, he says, "Taylor, thanks for the heads up on the Enigma earlier. My wife will be mad, but she hasn't found out yet." Alex hasn't found out either. Shh. Have you seen that Giant Mouse Knives is coming out with their GM6? No, and I don't need to know that. I don't need to know that. I'm wiping that, just erasing that from my memory. That never happened. Sell them and you've got yourself 2 phones. Sell what? The knives? Probably, yeah. The last time I tried to sell knives, nobody bought them in the Discord, so maybe you guys need to join the Discord, talk so you can I don't know how much the SBR goes for. I got it for fairly cheap. It's used now. Like I carried it for a while. This thing's sick. I only paid I think like 130 for the SBR several months ago. But look at this. This thing kicks. If I can get it to focus, this camera is much more difficult to focus when I'm in front of it than when I'm behind it. New phones before any new knives, Taylor. Well, I don't have any plans to buy knives, so that means I can wait to buy phones too. Right? Fletcher Hardwick says, Taylor, I demand you send me a mini goblin with all that YouTube money you've been rolling in. Whew. You heard about the YouTube ad revenue lately? We're going to do it this way. This might be a bad idea. Oh my God, this thing kicks so hard. Love it. Absolutely love it. John Pratt, have you ever carried too much and it felt bulky? If so, what's the tipping point? Right now, I'm doing that. Let me see what all my carry is right now. So, front right pocket, I've got the Pena Knives X Series front flipper trapper. So that's clipped to my front right pocket. In the back left pocket, I have this handkerchief, as well as the Giant Mouse Ace Biblio. So that's in my back left pocket. I don't normally go two knives, but I have so many that I haven't carried that I've been carrying two knives lately. The wallet is the Dosafenamere gun deck. You guys are familiar with that. In this pocket, today I carried the Tactile Turn Bolt Action Mini in bronze with a Timascus bolt. Also in that left pocket, or the front left pocket, I have the Kaweco Lilliput. And in the back pocket, which apparently was already on, is the Lumentop FW3A. Front left, also clipped, I have my key bar in titanium. And then my keys are hanging from my belt loop. So my truck keys, I hang them from my belt loop using the Griffin Pocket Tool. The best MEDC version. These are actually in stock. So if you haven't checked them out, these are in stock on the website right now. I took an Instagram photo the other day of these. I didn't like how it turned out. I'll probably delete that post. But these things look really great. The photo did not do it justice. These are cool. They're in stock on Carry Commission. Sorry, I got something in my eye. But that's been my carry. Oh, and then I also have the AirPods. And then for some reason I also had this in my pocket today. The Titanium Cadet. So, yeah, I hit that tipping point today. It was really too much, and I need to reel it in a little bit. But it's so hard. I struggle with choosing stuff every single morning. So I just end up grabbing a bunch of stuff, and then I get out and I'm like, why do I have all of this in my pockets? Copper Griffin Pocket Tool. I got one of those. Can't get rid of it because Casey sent it to me to take pictures. Sorry. Joshua says, I blame Sky Ray and Jason mostly for the purchases. Same. They're the worst. Yeah, so, well, I asked Will about what to do about refills for the Bolt Action Mini. Because unlike these two pins, the Bolt Action and Bolt Action Short, the Bolt Action comes with a G2 insert, and the Bolt Action Short comes with a Schmidt Easy Flow 9000. But the Bolt Action Mini comes with a Pilot G2 Mini refill, and you can't just buy those. It's really unfortunate. I don't understand why you can't. So what you have to do is you got to go to like Amazon or even your local like Office Max. I think Office Max and Office Depot both carry G2 Mini pins, and you can buy multi-packs of those. But it's wasteful because you just throw away the pin. But that's what you have to do for getting refills for these little short bolt actions. But yeah, somebody asked if this is going to be my new EDC pin. I think so. This is by far my favorite tactile turn pin to date. Like, by far. This is the one I carried the most before, which was the Bolt Action Short in bronze. Look how much that patinaed, though. This thing patinaed a ton. It's hard to hold these. Come on. Patinaed a lot. But this was my most carried. The Bolt Action Short in bronze. but the Mini is definitely the perfect size. There are some alternatives to the G2 Mini, but I'm not familiar with what they are. Yeah, this thing, super snappy. Oh, and they did this for me. Forgot to throw this in there. Put Best Damn EDC on the clip. So if I end up carrying the bronze the most, I'll probably put that on the bronze one. Just use some Nomar pliers and twist those off. I think they're Loctited, but I don't think they're red Loctited. I think it's blue Loctite. All right, we are rolling up on 1 hour. So I'm going to hang out for just a few more minutes, and then I'm going to call it a night, because I've been here for a long time, and it's 9 o'clock. I got here at like 10:30 or 11 this morning, and I left for 30 minutes to see the baby and came back. ZDrummer95, have you ever considered adding a beard comb or brush or of some sort to your EDC? I recently started carrying one regularly. Chadwick, what is up? Oh, and thank you for the $4.99, ZDrummer. So inside my wallet, I keep this. I don't really ever use it, but I do have the Travax comb. I don't ever really use it, but it's very thin and lightweight, and it doesn't really add much bulk to my wallet, so I don't really mind it being in there. But I have had instances where I've had to use it. I can't really comb my beard after it dries. I have to have, it's got to be wet and fresh out of the shower and some beard oil in it before I can really comb it. Mine is so curly, it just gets stuck. Like I can live stream with the baby. She is asleep. She went to sleep a long time ago. But yeah, my beard is so curly and tangly. I can't really use this thing. She also would not sit still. That's very true. She is very, very active and mobile now. Shave the beard off baby face. Yeah, if I shave, I look like I'm 12. Casey Little, thoughts on the Gonzo FH11? I don't ever pay attention to Gonzo because I do not support Gonzo or Land or Sanrenmu or Effengrow or any of those companies. I do not support any of them because they rip off designs. So you will never, ever see me cover any of those knives on this channel. Ever. I get that question more than just about anything about, Land and Sanrenmu and all of those whatever obscure named companies from China. I do not support any of them. What show am I watching now? I'm not. We just finished The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Silicon Valley just ended, and Mrs. Fletcher just ended, so we don't have any shows to watch. I was thinking about trying to finish Peaky Blinders, but it's been so long since I've watched Peaky Blinders that I don't remember, and the recap is like 30 minutes in and of itself, so I haven't found time to recap. So that's where I'm at. I don't really have a show that I'm watching right now. I'm not familiar with One Star. I've heard of One Star leather wallets, but I've not really seen anything from One Star. John says, have you ever thought about doing Twitch live streams? Yes. So if this show does well, I might actually move it over to Twitch. And there are a few reasons for that. Because Alex says I should show off some recent pictures of Eleanor. I don't have it set up right now. I'd have to try to figure out that. But yeah, I want to move this over to Twitch for a few reasons. One being that... What? Sean. One being that I want to diversify, because YouTube... So most of you guys know and are aware that YouTube demonetized Talon, and we all knew that was going to come. It was just a matter of time. They've gone after most gun channels. And David Freeman, hey, what's up, man? And when they changed their guidelines, not this most recent one, when they changed their guidelines, maybe, I don't know, I guess it was like 6 months ago. That was when I knew they were going to hit Talon, because they changed the wording of firearms. So what they said before, if I'm not mistaken, was something along the lines of you cannot promote the modification or sale of firearms, but then they changed it to weapons. And I could be wrong on this. I could be misquoting it, but it was something in the wording that just set off my spidey senses. Like, it was like, uh-oh. Like, I've got to look out for this, because when they went from firearms to weapons, they could classify anything as a weapon. You know, this could be a weapon. Even though we all know this is a pocket knife, this one's a little more aggressive, so that makes a little more sense. But this right here could be considered a weapon. When we all know that our grandparents carried things like this, it's not a weapon. This is a tool to, 99% of people in this community and a lot of people outside the community are understanding that pocket knives are just a thing. Some people are very scared of them for whatever reason, but all it would take is for somebody to start classifying pocket knives as a weapon, and this channel becomes at risk. So the point I'm making is that getting a show like this off of YouTube and trying to monetize it is just a way to look out for myself and future-proof the channel, but also just have that diversification of income. Because if YouTube demonetizes me, it not only takes away my ad revenue, it also stops promoting the videos. So those videos don't get recommended to people. They don't show up in top of search results. Like, you search, if I got demonetized and you searched EDC on YouTube, you would probably find some other people doing EDC stuff, but mostly like Electronic Daisy Carnival. Before I started the channel, it was like the first 30 or 40 results on YouTube were Electronic Daisy Carnival, not Everyday Carry. And now that's changed because I've put so much EDC content out. But that was the case, and it would go back that way. If knives were deemed weapons, all of the EDC channels would be hit just like the gun channels were, and boom, done. So, just trying to diversify and look out for myself. All knives matter. Anything could be a weapon, and that's the danger of the wording that they used. And I think they used that broader wording so that they can future-proof the community guidelines for any major thing that happens. If they only, restrict gun content and use the word firearm in their guidelines, and something major happens and all knives are dangerous weapons, then they can't be like, that's against our community guidelines. They would have to roll out a new community guideline, and then it would be against them. You know what I mean? So, not to go on this crazy rant, but that's why I'm thinking about doing Twitch. My thoughts on Fox knives. Well, I carried this thing for a month, and I really loved it. And I have the Half Dome from Summit Knife Company, which I've not heard anything from Summit for a while. Taylor stole a Maricarta Biblio from you. I did not steal it from you. You were just slow on the draw. It's right here. This was not stolen. This was purchased, my dude. It is the one that I keep in my back pocket, yeah. Nerve is just salty. So, long story short, I'm thinking about Twitch streaming. If this show does well, it could be worth testing it over on Twitch just to see if it carries over. But also, Jeremy Sires and I are starting a podcast, and we're debating on whether we want to host that podcast on my channel, on his channel, create a new YouTube channel for the podcast, or do it on Twitch. So, I don't know, maybe we'll hold a public poll and see where we should put the podcast, but it's going to be a live video podcast, and it will also be an audio podcast. Popov Leather makes some really quality stuff, and I know that this doesn't really matter, but of all the leather goods I've ever bought or tried or had, Popov leather smells the best. And I know they use the same leather as a lot of other companies. They use the same tanneries and stuff, but their leather smells better. I know that's irrelevant, but it's true. No, I'm not leaving YouTube. I'm not leaving YouTube at all. And I think you could switch or stream. I think you could stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But I don't know. It would also be a better. I think it would be a better. I think it would be better suited for doing it on Twitch. Like Twitch has worked really well for like H3, and of course I'm not like Ethan Klein size, but I think Twitch just monetizes better than YouTube. Yeah, so the holdup with the podcast, well, for one, it's Jeremy. I hate to throw him under the bus. I threw him under the bus on the other live stream this week, but basically, I bought this mic and got everything set up and ready to go, and he's like, "Hey, let's get it ready in a few weeks," and I'm like, "I'm ready now." But also, we don't have a name, and we haven't figured out the tiny logistical things, such as we don't have a name, like I said, but we don't have the software. We don't know exactly what we're going to use to stream. So I could have him video call me and I could screen capture and have him side by side in my current view here. But the more layers like that you add, the more technical difficulties you could have. And that just really, really messes things up for podcasts. I've done live podcasts like that in the past. And, it's never fun dealing with technical issues like that. I found your channel looking for Electronic Daisy Carnival. Well, I'm glad you stayed. Yes, Alex, I've gone over an hour, but I'm still very close to an hour. It's okay. I'm just hanging out with my bros. I don't have real friends anymore. Could stay YouTube, but use Streamlabs or something. Yeah, I mean there are tons of options right now. We're trying to figure that out, but more importantly, we need to figure out what we're going to call it first. But whiskey knife fight. That's funny. You, Jeremy, and Talon should get together and collab on a video. I know it's easier said than done, but it'd be cool. Well, Jeremy and I are already planning to work together on a lot of stuff. And he travels all over the place. He just told me to hit him up if I'm ever in his neck of the woods, and he'd call me if he ever came to Charlotte. So I've used Anchor in the past, and it just hasn't worked well for me. Yes, the stream will go live as a video whenever it's uploaded. BFF. You know who we should have on the podcast? Chadwick from Big Idea Design. Because all of us can talk forever. I know about I brew my own coffee. So what we would do is the audio-only version of the podcast would not be ripped from the live stream. We would record audio locally, and we would stream. That way we would have higher quality audio for the audio-only podcast. But I'm getting into the weeds now. I am going to head home. Time to pull the curtain on this show. Thank you guys for hanging out for so long, and thank you for sponsoring. Chadwick, you're in here. Thank you for sponsoring this episode, and Tactile Turn. Will is a fantastic guy. Both Big Idea Design and Tactile Turn make amazing products. They're both backed by awesome people. They are representative of how awesome this EDC community is and the community at large. Like, they are two of the major reasons this community is as amazing as it is. So thank you both for sponsoring this and making this live episode possible. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for all the donations and just hanging out with me and doing this thing live. This was a lot of fun. So I think, and I'm just speaking tentatively, but I think I'm going to do this again next week. And I'm thinking that we would, I was thinking that maybe we would do a best of 2019 episode next week. So I'll go through all the ones that I've gotten this year and pick out my favorite 10 from the year, and we could do that next week. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that thumbs up button below. If you're new here and you just stumbled upon this stream, be sure to subscribe, stick around. If there was anything in this video that you liked and you would like to check out more or purchase it, there are links down below. Those are affiliate links. If you purchase anything using those links, it gives me a little bit of a kickback and makes this possible. So very thankful for that. You can also shop in my store, Carry Commission. There's going to be some new stuff in there, including a custom handkerchief from Mighty Hanks. It's not this one, but I think you guys could probably guess what it is going to be. But there will be a custom Carry Commission custom handkerchief in Carry Commission's store next week, maybe, and a few other things. Just stuff. There's a lot of stuff on the pipeline. So you can go shop in my store at carrycommission.com or carry.best, and you can also support us on Patreon at patreon.com/bestdamnedc. So thank you guys once again. Be sure to follow us. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at bestdamnedc. You can find me. I don't post much, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CasperTech. And I will see you guys next week. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then. Merry Christmas. Thanks for hanging out. So long. Oh, almost forgot. Carry on.